So, ladies and gentlemen, fanboys and girls, nerds, weebs, and otaku, welcome back and welcome home.
As you can see, we're excited for Anime NYC, which is this weekend coming up, and we're all running around getting ready for it.
Not all of us.
Well, Matt, you're welcome to come.
I am, but I have packed weekends, also cat sitting. Like literally everything that could keep me anchored down is keeping me anchored down.
Well, if you change your mind or things change, you can come along.
I'm just gonna go with like a backpack full of 4 cats. That's what's gonna happen.
I've actually seen that at the convention. Somebody had one of those backpacks and the cat was in there.
I think one of my cats would love that, but I don't think my neighbor's cats would.
Like Japan goes, I might be there, I might not.
Mysterious, very mysterious.
Well, Japan, if you're there, look us up. We'll put you in the trailer.
So I was gonna say I'm surprised he's not working there, but then again, he works at New York Comic Con, not Anime NYC. 2 completely different owners.
With the same people working in it.
With the same people, yeah, fair.
It was different people before, but now it's the same people.
Oh wait, is it? What happened?
There's old NYCC people who have taken over Anime NYC.
Is it at least the good ones? Were there good ones?
I don't know. All I know is that they don't like us, so.
Because I know Anime NYC, like they started up because they hated what New York Comic Con was doing with anime, and then like suddenly they're absorbing Comic Con people. I don't know what's going on anymore. I don't understand it. I'm not gonna pretend I understand it.
I just think it's funny that the whole reason why Anime NYC was successful was because it wasn't at New York Comic Con.
Yeah, I hope they don't try to turn it into New York Comic Con because that would suck.
Yeah, so me and in the green room before everybody showed up, me and Nat were trying to figure out the plan for this weekend. Trying to see who we know, who we don't know, because that's always important. Because we always try to catch up with the people that we've interviewed before, so that we can do a little video with them.
Ah, that's really nice.
Yeah, and it's also a good way to tell people, hey, over here.
Yeah.
Check them out.
Buy the things, give them money. No one's making money here. This is terrible.
Exactamundo. All right, guys. Let's do this. Let's talk about this beautiful project. It has my D&D attentions.
I knew it would. The moment I saw it, I was like, Ralph is gonna love this.
And I was talking to John in the green room, and it has this bone feel to it, ElfQuest thing, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, I'm old.
So am I, if I'm saying that.
I'm catching up to you guys. Don't worry.
That's just the way it is, man. Us geeks.
Exactly.
So, John, why don't you give us the spiel? Go for it.
Okay. Well, the tagline, you can see it above: 2 broke mercenaries must outwit wizards and thieves to break a curse of a mythical creature. This is issue number 2 of Wurst and Mayhem. Wurst and Mayhem is a story of basically two strangers who have been thrown together and start working together to go on adventures. Issue 1 was super successful. Issue 2 is already at 103%. We got 11 days to go. It's got a number of great rewards. It basically is the story of how Ryan and I, it's just two buddies getting together, trying to make each other laugh, and we come up with a story that way.
It's a good way to come up with a story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they say like write for yourselves, or like write for the people you care about, write for your friends, and like you get some of the best things out of that.
I agree. We definitely write for it. We know that if we can make each other laugh, then we have something that will make other people laugh. And what better opportunity than to work with your best friend? I get to work with my best friend every day. And it's amazing. We've been spending so much time trying to develop this world and these characters, and it's really come to fruition, and other people dig it, and that's a great thing.
That's always a good thing, especially when other people dig it.
Yeah, have you sold lots of like original art? Because I remember seeing on like the first day you guys like skyrocketed to like 4,000, and I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah, so we sold Ryan's cover art. We sold the Kickstarter image art. We've sold a number of comic pages.
Wow.
Yeah. So we have really, really fervent, loyal fans already who dig and love what we're doing and want to. We've sold art for both campaignes.
Amazing.
So, yeah, it is amazing. It is
I haven't managed to pull that off. I'm just saying.
I gotta say, I've seen a bunch of people who actually do that, and they don't get to sell anything.
Yeah. I don't know. People dig it. I don't know. Maybe they like the twisted nature of the pages. I'm not quite sure. The story isn't for children. There's a lot of violence and there's humor, but there's a lot of violence and a lot of foul language, mostly from the character there in the gray shirt.
The best Wurst character.
Exactly.
That's Wurst. Yeah. Yeah. The whole premise that we came up with as we wrote this was that the words Wurst and Mayhem didn't exist in the English lexicon until these two characters were on the scene. And their names are what prompted those words to go into our language.
I like it.
It's pretty funny. Yeah, this is a great this scene wouldn't have existed without James, the editor. We had them in the treasure vault, but we didn't have the treasure golem in there, and there needed to be. James said we needed some tension, something to happen, some reason why they're fighting to get out, and we came up with it.
Yeah, James is a great editor because I remember reading anything from like his newsletters and stuff, and he always says like the one thing that he noticed as an editor is that like a lot of writers just forget to put conflict.
Yep.
So it's like, well, what are they even doing there? Like, how do you make it interesting? So like, I'm not surprised that he's like, there needs to be some conflict here.
Yeah, exactly. And Ryan, he said there was conflict, and Ryan's like, I know exactly what there needs to be. And
like, fine, they're fighting a treasure golem.
Yep.
I like the little leap.
Yeah, it was a fun scene to draw. The treasure golem is great because he's just a magical pile of coins. It's how do you defeat something like that?
I was gonna ask, but I'll wait to read to find out.
Right.
Well, then he can't scroll anymore.
Oh,
no! No, the spoilers.
Womp womp.
Well, even the golem's like, no.
Yeah, I mean, that just sums up everyone's feelings in this moment perfectly.
That's what
I don't know, man. I think it just shows off how much fun is in here.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun. It's been a blast to create. It's really pushed my imagination on what we can do with characters for sure.
And I just like coming up with really crazy stuff and thinking there's absolutely no way John would be on board, and then he just draws it.
That's amazing.
Oh, look at that amazing cover.
Oh, who did that?
Who did that?
I don't know.
Yeah, we love that cover.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah,
It was amazing. A lot of fun to do. Like the moment that Ryan was like, "Oh, hey, do you want to draw a cover?" I was like, "I know what I must do." Like I already had it. Like there needed to be lots of skulls.
Yes. Oh, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. When he showed me your first drawing of it, I'm just like, oh my god, it's amazing. Yeah, we love it.
Yay!
So good.
I hope a lot of people buy it so that like it boosts my ego. I need that. I need this win.
There's been a lot of people that have jumped on it. I think they get a lot of the all covers.
All covers, yeah.
Oh, awesome! Even better.
Yep. Yeah, that cover is great. There's a local artist here in Pennsylvania with us. His name is John Mueller. We met him at my local comic shop when we were doing Free Comic Book Day a few years ago, and he was all on board to do a cover. He does a magazine on Free Comic Day or on Halloween Comic Fest called Horrendous, and we've been in it a number of times.
I've bought Horrendous because a friend of mine has been in Horrendous a few times. Yeah. Like she's really cool. And
so we know her. Yeah,
she's so sweet. I love her. Her and her daughter. I love the mother-daughter team. They're so cool.
Yeah. So John did this cover, and it's just awesome. Ryan did the colors on it.
It's kind of reminiscent of like that old like NES cartridge art. I think we were discussing this before, right, Ralph? Where it looks like, like the Western NES cartridge art.
I feel I should be putting this in my game system and playing.
Yeah, like an alternative like artwork for like Castlevania or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think we can show that one. That might get us kicked off YouTube.
You guys got a peek. There you go.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you get.
It's got.
So yeah, how did you guys come up with the idea for a Not Safe for Work cover? Like, how does this fit in? I'm so curious.
So John sometimes, to his dismay, listens to me, and I'm like, basically our whole comic is really a spoof, and it makes fun of a lot of stuff, and it's our way of kind of making fun of the Not Safe for Work stuff. Now we're doing it as a jab at it because it's basically a Yeti, right? Who wants to see a Not Safe for Work Yeti? Like
there are too many people.
You guys don't know the right people.
Yeah,
I definitely don't know the right people, but we thought it would be really funny because it's not like a sexy cover. It's supposed to be like a joke.
Again,
there's way too many people.
There's a whole community around that.
Oh, definitely.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. So we wanted it to kind of be, like I said, it's a joke. It's kind of derpy in its format. This female Yeti and this male Yeti, because we have Yetis in the story. So that's why we went with that.
This will be the only one ever, and it was only because it was a stupid joke, and it's supposed to be funny.
Yeah,
because it's good in a terrible way.
I understand.
Yeah, there's no nudity on the image; it's covered up.
Oh, it is, but
There's
it's good that it's small on there. Yeah.
You'd be amazed what they will hit you on.
The YouTube pearl clutching.
I gotta say, I feel like you guys made it easy to actually purchase this stuff.
That's the goal. We want to make it as easy as possible for people to get our stuff.
Also, I appreciate how many pages each book is, because it's like it's a hefty chunk of story. I was just
looking at it. It's like 2 books, 116 pages. That's a lot of pages.
Yeah, they're like 40 to 50 pages each or something. Like I remember the first one was like kind of a chunker.
Yeah, the first one's 64 pages and the second one's 48 pages. We probably won't ever be under 32. I think one of the issues we have planned is 32 pages. It might be 40 pages. I'm not sure.
If it gets too small, we'll just add a whole lot of extra bonus stories.
Yeah, we want the books to be substantial. We want them to be different than anything else out there. If you looked at the interior pages, you know, there's a border around all the artwork. You know, a little Wurst and Mayhem D&D style border. You know, the pages are full bled. They look like old book pages. You know, it's something totally different than everything that's out there, we hope. And we hope that people dig it, you know?
Yeah, there was a lot of care put into it. I noticed when I was looking through the pages and looking at the borders and stuff, it's like this really, like, it fits the vibe. Like, you're establishing a vibe and it's working.
Right.
And it's so funny that you say that, because I could swear I would have been able to pick this up when I was younger.
Right.
Because I used to do books like this when I was younger. Then they stopped doing them.
Yep.
And I see a little figure here.
Yeah, that's our little Wurst figure. Last campaign we had the companion figure, which was Wurst and Mayhem together. And now each campaign will be releasing a regular figurine in both color, and as an add-on you could get just a gray model if you wanted to customize it yourself. Because, you know, gamers like to have models. They like to have figures to play with.
Oh, definitely.
Yep. You know, at least I do. I play with mine.
So you get the figure and the comic, right?
And the comic, yeah.
Wow, that's pretty good. Okay.
That's a bargain, yeah.
Yeah. That is.
Because I know custom figures are not cheap to produce on, like, you know, the creator's end. So, like, wow, that's a really good bargain.
Yep. Yeah, we want it to be affordable. We, you know, as well as, cover the costs of everything. You know, we're not looking to make a fortune. We're really just looking to fund the comic. You know, everything is to fund the comic. As long as it's not going into our pockets anymore, and it's a self-funding endeavor, that's the most important thing.
Well, we tell people all the time here that, you know, nobody's making money off of this. Everybody's just trying to plan the next book.
Exactly.
That's exactly what's going on. There are very few people who can actually make a profit off of their book and, like, crowdfunding. And yeah, I'm not one of them. I'm like, I just break even, and I have enough left over for, like, ice cream, and I'm like, okay, I guess this works.
Oh, so some of your pieces are gone already. Look at that.
That's the original Kickstarter image art and the original cover art.
Someone's cat is upset.
That's my cat. He wants to come in so bad.
I can recognize the call of a distressed cat.
Hooray, we're making a book.
Yeah, we hit the goal, we're making a book. And then we don't show what the rewards are until we hit the goal. I know some people like to show what those are, but the rewards are hidden by an ever-increasing bigger pile of treasure.
I don't know, man.
So clever.
As a D&D player, I feel like you're going to be like, roll the 20, see what we get.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that would be fun. You have, like, a little live stream too, where you, like, roll the dice and then, you know, pick your stretch goal that way.
Not impossible.
Not impossible at all. Y'all got dice. I know that. I know you got dice somewhere there.
Your stretch goal is all the way to 50,000. Okay.
I got dice right here.
Yeah, there you go. Check it out. He's prepared.
Hey guys, I am totally Johnny come lately to spot here, but is it okay if I steal that idea for future stretch goals? That is brilliant. I love that hidden thing.
I'm also about to steal it. Like, just don't give nothing away.
We've got, like, on the campaign, my campaign right now, we've got 4 spelled out, and we've met 3 of them. But, like, you know, fingers crossed or whatever. But I feel like we're gonna get past that 4th one, and I'm thinking, like, that's a really, really cool idea. Like, hey, there's gonna be more, but, you know, because we're beyond our original plans, these are top secret, and we're not gonna do it until you get there. And I love that as, like, an incentive idea. That's really, really brilliant.
Yeah, just people start going, what is it? Let's find out.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly the goal.
Huh.
Not gonna lie, also it helps you buy some time to think of a new reward.
Exactly.
You've, like, already exhausted the ones you have, and you're like, oh man, what do I do next? You know what? We'll reveal this when you hit the goal.
I convinced John on the first campaign. I was like, yo, if we, like, hit $12,000, you have to do a John reads the comic.
Yeah.
Every time he draws pages and writes out the script, like he reads them back to me in the characters' voices, but they're not the characters, and it's hilarious. It makes it
Oh
even
my god.
That sounds like a good stretch goal right there.
Yeah, or like an audiobook kind of
Uh-huh.
thing or something. Like that would be fun.
Yeah, it's such an outlandish goal. I agreed to it because I know we're not going to get there. So it's good.
I don't know. Be careful what you wish for.
Dude, I can see people going, he said we're not gonna make it. Let's
That's
make
right.
him make it. Let's make him read it.
Challenge
Yeah.
accepted.
Despite John, here's $5,000.
Yeah, there is nothing more powerful than spite.
Oh
Just
yeah.
saying.
They're gonna say, oh, he doesn't want us he doesn't want to read it. So we're gonna make him read it.
Yep.
I gotta say, it's good that you guys are at the funded area, because that's when you can actually relax a little bit. Now that means that you're gonna stop trying to get more money. It just means that you're like, okay, it's funded.
Yep, like it's happening.
Yeah, it takes an edge off of the whole campaign. That's really what it is. You don't stop because you want to raise more money, but it takes that edge where you're not sitting at the edge of your chair and you're not refreshing the screen every 2.5 minutes to see if somebody's backed.
Now we're up to 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Let's get them to 5 minutes, people. Let's get them to 5 minutes. Like
Congratulations, guys.
maybe that'll get us 5 minutes.
Folks,
Congratulations, that's awesome. I'm really happy you guys hit it. That's great.
Thanks. Yeah, we got 11 more days.
Hey, can I ask John and Ryan a question? Because I noticed down at the bottom, that you guys did the pie chart, the transparency section of here's what our budget is and here's where all the money goes.
Yeah.
Is everybody here tonight just as kind of, I don't know if turned off is the right word, but probably turned off by campaigns that you look at that don't do that?
Yeah, I dislike it when a campaign doesn't show what they're doing with their money.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be exact. Ours is not exact. It's percentage based, and it has numbers in there. There's a little bit of fluctuation. We actually have a contingency in there too, a little miscellaneous amount. We put it in there. We want people to. We are funding a comic book. We are funding a print, and all of the tertiary stuff that go with that book. People should know that what you're doing. I think. I don't like sparse campaign pages. I don't back them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like if you're not going to put effort into your campaign page, why am I going to put effort into trying to figure out what it is that you're trying to sell me?
Exactly. There's just it's so easy. Show some art so I can see what the interior of that's going to look like. Show the cover. It doesn't even have to be finished. You can actually say that this is not a finished cover, right? But show what you think it's going to be. Show some art. Show your team. Your team's important. People should know who's working on the book because if they just look at my name, maybe they don't know, but they see James as the editor. They see Ryan as a colorist. They see Dave Lentz who letters everything. Maybe that'll draw somebody to the campaign. Put where your money's going. Yeah. Put in there a thing about shipping. How are you shipping?
Yeah.
They're just simple things that you can do.
Also, page count. You would be surprised how many people don't even have a page count on their campaign. And I'm like, I'm paying $15 for this book plus $5 shipping. How many pages am I getting? Am I getting 20? Am I getting 35? Am I getting 18? Come on.
Right. Exactly.
And then I don't back those things because I'm not going to pay $15 plus $5 shipping for an 18-page book.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know times are tough, but give me information.
They're not that.
So two really quick things that popped in my head once you said that. So I think I've gone down that road too. I like that transparency. I like to be able to show people exactly where the money is going and complete and utter honesty with that. And I at one point. With my first campaign last year, I thought that it was the teacher in me who's no, you need to tell everybody everything because that's how you get in trouble in the classroom when you're holding back information. But I've been really heartened to see that so many people follow that model and being honest with that. And then what's funny is like John, you were just saying, it's so true. like put some visuals in your campaign page. I can't tell you how many I've seen lately that are just like stark. And I look at these people and I think, oh, you poor thing. Like, you need to come to my 8th grade English class where I like lecture the kids on that PowerPoint presentation where all you've got is text behind you. And like I can read. Put something interesting for me to look up there on the screen when you're speaking to us, kiddo. And it's like the same thing with this. Like, there is nothing wrong with having some art up there and having some visuals and having interesting things to look at.
I mean, like, it's the internet. People don't read, so the more visuals you give them and like the less paragraphs, the better. Like, it's going to serve you better. Or if you have a lot of paragraphs, like, break it up with some art or some comic pages in between, like, 2 paragraphs, some art, 2 paragraphs, some art, so that it's, people, they see like a wall of text, their eyes kind of like glaze over, they don't read it, they click the X, and then they just go back on like Twitter or whatever, read those sweet 140 character posts.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I agree completely.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm a writer, and anytime I have
been accused of being like, what? I've been accused of being overly verbose on a good day by Dave Lentz on most days. And so that was a learning curve for me to make sure that all that stuff that I needed to say on my page was broken up by lovely visuals. You know it.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, Dave will just chop your words down to whatever he wants.
Oh, we had a situation where I was approving a page of letters today where he made a couple of changes. Oh yeah, I know. And Ryan,
this doesn't fit. This is what it is now.
Ryan, I am supposed to be telling you tonight that your facial hair is spectacular. That's coming straight from Dave, and that if anybody has any problem with any lettering work he ever does, that you are to blame for getting him into that business.
That is so true.
I am Dave's official scapegoat.
I'm just the messenger. I am just quoting directly from a text just before I jumped on here. So, just passing it along.
No, Dave's awesome. We love working with him. Like, it's so cool when part of the team like is so invested in what you're doing. Like, sometimes like he does change stuff and he adds little things in, or he'll add jokes, and we love it. We absolutely love it. Like, we're not like, oh no, that's not what we wrote. Like, it's great that he feels comfortable enough to have fun, and like, it's still partly his book, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I agree. He's added to. He's never taken away. He's always added to the book.
And I mean, also that goes to show like his commitment to the book. He's not just like doing a job. Like, he's out there like trying to make the book better, trying to do what he can with the lettering, and just like, like add something of value, as opposed to just like, all right, you paid me to letter. Here's like, I'm going to just copy and paste what you put a bubble around it, and like, there you go. Good luck.
At the risk of this becoming the Dave Lentz praise show, which hopefully he's watching and he'll appreciate it. But I mean,
you know what? Send him a link to the replay. He can watch it.
He's one of those. Let's be honest. He's like one of those magical people who, like, he's so involved with whatever project you and he are working on, and he's so committed to it, and he's so present with you in that moment, that it's very easy to forget that most likely he's juggling like 10 other things with 10 other people at the exact same time, which is a real skill. And then to add on to what you guys were saying before, like I think one of the things that makes him the best is because he is hyper talented. He's like a multi-hyphenate, but only likes to take credit for lettering. Like, I'm forcing him, like in our book right now, to have like the 3 hyphenate on the credits page, because he's like acting as art director and den mother and all these other things at the same time. And but you're right, like literally today I'm approving a page of his letters, and it was just because the way the pacing happened with some of the pale layouts in a decision or two that my artist made, that he knew that some speech bubbles had to get rearranged, and the artistry in which he did it, like the writer in me didn't have a second of that thing that we can tend to get pretty precious about, like when your words get messed with and, the pride kicks up or whatever. And he did this thing where all he did was literally switch the order of a few balloons. And he did it in a way that I think probably flows better than the way I originally wrote it. And like, and I looked at him, I was like, only you, Dave. And like I did, you know, like send him some memes of like some bow downs and some like you are the GOAT, and it was just kind of really, really cool. I love that guy.
Yeah, we do too.
Let me show off the video so others can check.
Oh yeah.
I like quick and to the point.
And it doesn't have us in it.
And it doesn't have us in it. Yeah.
The last time
we're gonna show you what you're gonna get, and that's it, and you better get it.
The last time I wrote a whole script and we had it on a board and behind the camera and we tried to read it, and it looked exactly like
a father and son video, and we're like, what?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah.
Like that was not the intent. We're like, no videos.
Yeah, and this gave me an opportunity to play with After Effects a bit. So
I gotta say, like, no video. Sometimes that turns a lot of people off when you don't have a video at all. I think you guys did the right thing. You guys give them, here's some stuff, check it out, and then come back out. And
like,
so
here's the book. Here's exactly what you're gonna get. We're gonna flip through some pages. This is what you're gonna feel like when you read the story.
Yeah, and at the very end, we get to put our fake quotes in there, the fake reviews. We had one real review and then all the fake reviews. You know,
the one
we like doing that.
Oh man. So, Mr. Douglas, you've come in here now. So it's time for you to give us.
No. You got to pull back out. We don't even get to look at that until I sincerely apologize for being late. So you've got to know that like this is like embarrassing to like the 10th degree. Like as a teacher, I'm also one of those humans who on time is late. Early is kind of uncomfortable. Super early is my comfort zone. So the fact that I was like 15 minutes late here, my sincere apologies. We are sending my oldest to college tomorrow, and we have some priorities and emergencies that kind of took precedent tonight. So I sincerely apologize for my tardiness. I hope you will forgive me. And
we won't, but you know, the show must go on.
I will be. Most likely I'll be late for the show in 2 years when we send my next one off. But tonight was special.
Well, Dave will forgive you after all that nice things you said about him.
Yeah, exactly. I know. He really needs to watch the Dave Lentz praise 20 minutes that jumped into the middle.
Dude, what you guys should do is find the little bit and send it to him and go, here, watch this. And don't tell him you want what it is. There we go. Go, Mr. Douglas, go.
Okay, guys. Well, this is my new Kickstarter. This is Jane American, the graphic novel, which is kind of the follow-up from the one shot from last year. This is my third project after a very, very atypical beginning, getting in the comics industry with Parallel, my sold out and twice Ringo nominated book through SourcePoint Press. And this is my very, very personal project. And I'm gonna give you the lowdown here. That will kind of be shown in the video, but hopefully I can be a little bit more eloquent because I am not as technologically savvy as that last video, and my teenagers in the house would not help me this time. So I did my very first video on my own, but at the sake of repeating myself, Jane American is a World War II coming-of-age story. It takes place in historic Plymouth, Michigan, which is where I grew up and a couple generations back grew up. And as you can read in my probably too many words on that page, I can't. You guys were saying all these things, and I'm thinking, oh, my campaign, it's not as good. Anyway,
I don't know, man. You hit like 8,000 already. You got like 136 bucks. I think
doing okay.
I think you're fine. Yeah.
The gist of the story is, you know, during the war years, Jane, you know, our female protagonist, is living a life of family and stability and hope until she's not, until war brings tragedy to her front doorstep and everything changes. And she changes in unbelievable ways that are better left hidden. But there are economic realities at the end of the war. Dad's not coming home. Mom can no longer, due to societal norms, be a Rosie the Riveter. And so Jane has this choice. She can stay safe, she can stay hidden, or she can embrace who she really is and now what she can truly do for the sake of everybody that she loves. And this is a book that is chock full of those universal, relatable themes about identity, about gender, about self-worth, about self-identification, and being you in a world that maybe tells you something different. Yet it's also very much personal to me because it is named after and inspired by my late grandmother, who went through all those same things, minus the ability to lift a couple tons of steel above your head, but 80 years ago. It's dedicated to every single student who has gone through my classroom in the last 2.5 decades, who, even though it's the 21st century and this should be in our past, are still struggling with those questions of identity today. And then this is a bit more recent, and I got to be careful how I express this to you guys because it's still kind of raw. This book is now very much dedicated to my late grandfather, who was an integral part of the research process for this book, because he was a direct link to that era and was out on the road with me, like actually researching real life places where the book takes place and collecting data and helping me build that. And last year at the age of 99, when he realized he wasn't going to see 100, and as a World War II vet who had quite the ego on him, he was not happy that he was not going to see 100. That dude wanted that bad. But when he knew it wasn't going to happen, he sat me down and he made me promise that the book that contains the name and likeness of his high school sweetheart would see print. So this is me kind of fulfilling that promise to him. You know, my first book, the one through Source Point, was me fulfilling that lifelong dream of making a comic, that thing that had been a latent desire of mine since I was 12 years old. And it just, happened to take me 3 decades to make it happen. This one is for family. There's a lot of family names in it. This one is for students because they have been my, the center of my existence for the last 2.5 decades, and even more when you think about me teaching swim lessons and stuff like that. So this is me fulfilling that promise to them. My promise to anybody who wants to back Jane American and give this 132-page graphic novel a read. Yeah, I got my page numbers. It's all over the page. That was one of the things. Yes, I did that one. Is basically, you know what? It's going to break your heart in spots. It's going to make you stand up and cheer in spots. It's going to take you down some pretty dark roads where those kind of harsh realities of people telling you you're supposed to be this and you being in a world that you don't necessarily belong in, or at least people telling you that, but a rather empowering, uplifting story from a Rainbow Coalition creative team that I could not be luckier to have on my side making this thing a reality.
It looks beautiful.
So, yeah. Oh, well, check this out. So, like, if you, I want you, can you scroll back up to the covers really quick?
Sure.
So, Annie Wright is my interior artist as we're going back. She is 22 years old from Muncie, Indiana. This is literally her first book. She is hitting it out of the park. She came to me through my one of my 2 editors, Dr. Christy Blanche, who is an amazing writer in her own right. She's one of Dave's other partners. And Annie was like actually a kid in Dr. Christie's shop that she owns in Muncie at All Yeah Comics for years, and kind of she hooked us up. And she kind of came fully formed as like, man, could that kid draw emotion? And then what's kind of been amazing in the last year since like, last time I was on this show and it was we were kind of promoting the one shot and this, she is just blossomed, right? And like those pages down below are kind of like, we put them up because they kind of give you an idea of some of like that teenage angst going on in this book and a little bit of action, but it was kind of like her tryout action scene, and the fact that she could pull that off, like I knew that the bigger, badder stuff coming up later in the book she could do. So we're doing a hardcover and we've got the wraparound, and that one's by Sina Grace, who some of you guys know as he was Robert Kirkman's editor on The Walking Dead for years and kind of busts into at Image with books of his own. And then went to superstardom when he was drawing and writing Iceman and X-Men. And now he's like a New York Times bestselling Superman author and artist, and has books out right now through DC. And he's a good friend of mine. So he did that wraparound cover for us. And then I'm really excited to show you the soft cover wraparound down below by Lauren Nalepa, who's actually an art teacher in the district to the south of me, and is about to leapfrog me as far as any notoriety I have in comics, because she's still got a non-disclosure agreement going on right now, but she's about to sign a deal for a rather large comic book project that's going to leave me in the dust. So I'm really excited that I got her on that. And I've known her since she was like real little. And she's now a teacher in the district that's right south of where I teach. And so I'm really excited about those covers. And then, I've got your basic stuff. And you're probably a little bit too verbose. What's that?
I was gonna say, I have to say, Jason, like I said the last time, I love the fact that these books have that feel from that time period.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of what I said to Cena for like his cover. I was like, try to channel Darwin Cook. And I think he kind of grabbed that, and we went with that kind of that 3-tone color that a lot of those, like the war posters of the time, kind of capitalized on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of, like legit, like the actual posters.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, and that was definitely intentional.
Very
I'll show
effective.
it to you guys again because it is a beautiful cover, and it's so simple. It's so simple, but it's so powerful.
Right. And then I like that. And then when I say like Darwin Cook, what was on my mind when I gave him some design notes, like with the wraparound with like those descending figures. If you look on like, I think it's on the slipcase edition of New Frontier. And
okay, I know what you're talking about.
Where like you can see all the heroes kind of like in descending order going down the side. And that's kind of what was in my head with doing that with some of the main characters in the book. But hey, that's Dave Lentz design, trade dressing the heck out of both of those covers, right?
Yep.
That's him making the call for the translucent spine on that second cover, so we can see it going through there.
Oh, that's a good call. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that like I wouldn't have noticed, like had you not pointed it out. But it's like it does make so much of a difference because it's like it's now just one continuous image instead of like breaking it up.
And that's totally what I liked about it because he does that thing where he's super helpful. It's going to turn into the Dave Lentz show for a minute again. He does that thing where he's super helpful, but he's also got a little bit of devil in him, and he like sends you not one, not two, but like 7 options, and they're all really good. And then just as I'm narrowing it down, he literally will send like a little laughing devil emoji to me and say, here's an 8th, like have fun. And I'm like, nice. Oh my God, I hate you, but I love you, and it's not fair. And then, but we kind of came down to this one, and one of the selling points was that the translucent spine. I love that too. I'm so glad you noticed it. Yeah. So we got, the preview pages, note from the author about how personal a project is to me. I love, you know what? I think the best thing, and I wish I had been here earlier, but the thing that really, really did my heart good, because you guys describing your project, Ryan and John, I love the idea that you're doing the same thing I am, where it's not necessarily a money-making venture. And it's really about taking maybe the things from before and pouring it into the next one. And I don't want to say that I felt alone in that, but like the fact that you guys are doing that too, and we kind of are all on the same page about that, really did my heart good, because I mean, people don't realize how expensive comics are. And like if you even want to like flip through really quick to the bottom, like I did the 2 pie charts. I actually did the 2 where I said how much this project costs, and it's like a $23,000 project. Because of who's on board and how many pages it is and just how much stuff costs. And I just basically did that thing. And this was my idea from day one of taking every penny past production cost of the one shot from last year and pouring it into this, because I want people to have the book. I want it to exist in the world. And look, I'm a public school teacher, guys. I make like 12 cents a year. I will be fine. So like the idea, this is my passion. I want this to live in the world. I also did that. This is a bit more recent. I also did that for the tiers of the soft cover and the hardcover. And because it's not a floppy, I did my chromium cover for the one shot, and I did this really cool soft touch laminate that looks old and feels old, and had those priced accordingly. But for this one, if when we get there, you'll notice that the hardcover is only priced at $40 and the soft cover is only priced at $20, because basically the same prices they'll be on the stands when they go there. Again, just because I want it in people's hands, especially young readers' hands. So I wanted to make it accessible and affordable. But having said it, scroll back up for me. Go back to the comic nerd in me not being able to be contained. So, because I took some of that exclusivity out of it, right? Like, yes, that is the Cena cover and the Laura Nalepa cover. I mean, that's cool, and those are great, and you can only get them here. But it's also not, the super fancy metal cover or whatever. And so, as a collector and a reader, since I was 12, I've been split down the middle, right? I am half reader and half nut job collector. And usually they're like this, but they're nice and balanced. But for this book, it's really more about, reading the story. And so I had to attach, for my comic nerds out there, for my collector nerds, I am doing a giveaway with this, and I am giving away a 9.8 slab of from my first book. When Parallel sold out, it had a bunch of variants. And one of the very first ones was from State of Comics here in Plymouth, Michigan, and it was this Donnie Darko foil variant, and they made 100. It sold out in like 10 minutes. Ryan, the shop owner, pointed out last year he saw a 9.6 going for $500 online. It sold for something around that, and this is my 9.8 copy of it. I'm going to give it away, and basically, if you back the project, you get entries into winning this, and I will ship that sucker anywhere in the world. So as much as I love it, it's going to somebody who is being supportive and being wonderful and helping me keep this dream alive and keep a promise to my grandparents.
Nice.
That is super sweet.
Cool.
That is, wow. And
I'll be sad to see it go, but I'll be happy that it's knowing to go to somebody that like backed the project that I love. So
that cover's amazing, man. Woo.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I've been taking it to like to conventions and signings and stuff over the last like couple of months, and I wish I could say that it wasn't the thing that attracts the most attention on my table, but it definitely is. So we did 3 of our 4 specials. This is why I got to steal your idea, guys, because I'm pretty sure we're going to hit that 4th one, and I need something beyond that. So I might need to steal that idea to get some hidden ones until I come up with the idea of what the 4th one is. But I made my goals pretty low because I want them achievable. I want them things that people can get. And we've got the the basic thank you page that people seem to respond to last time I did this. We got the back matter bonanza, which I was pretty sure we're going to get to because I already wrote half of it. Thank goodness we got there. And there's going to be like a teacher's guide in the back of this because all the historical context. So it's going to be good in the classrooms. Nice. Signed book plates. I don't think we've mentioned his name enough, but Dave Lentz has already signed those book plates for us. So
check that out. Always ahead of the game.
Yeah. And then one of our most popular add-ons last time were these war bonds that Dave and I designed. And we're going to up it. And instead of it being like a $50 war bond this time, it'll be a $100 war bond. And it's very realistic. But we make sure that we make the back say Jane American and thank you and put the date on there so nobody goes and tries to cash it in. But it's a pretty cool little extra. We gotta. You gotta be careful on Lucky, right? Because it's creating relationships and reaching out to people. But like, I'm so excited about this creative team. So Dr. Christie is one of my editors. We wrote up. She's a great writer herself. She's a shop owner. She's a heck of an editor. She's one of the most in-demand panel moderators for conventions in the country. They fly her all over the place. She edited the book, and then Randy Pink edited my book too. And Randy Pink is a New York Times best-selling young adult author of minority and queer fiction, and you name it. This woman is one of the most incredible humans on the planet, and she did an edit of my book. Her book, one of her most recent books, is something that she and I worked together to get to be official curriculum in my school district that I teach, and my 8th graders read it every single year. So to have her on board as like an editor for, some of the pretty intense topics that the book covers, history based, was truly a great a bonus, and having her on the team means the world to me. And then obviously my cover artist, and up at the top, I don't know if you guys know Afua Richardson, but she is a Eisner Award winning artist and writer, and probably the best creator cosplayer that you will ever see at a convention. like it's funny. You never know. I was next to her at a convention in Indiana this summer, and she always has the longest line, and you're never sure if it's like for her Black Panther covers or for the fact that she's dressed better than anybody else there. And she wrote an amazing foreword for this book that I'm really, really honored to be able to put at the front of it. So like things just came together in a way that I'm really excited about. And I'm really just super happy that people are backing it. And I want to just get it in as many people's hands as possible. So there's that big price tag I was talking about that, honestly, good Lord. I mean, a hardcover is just so expensive, especially if you want it to be shipped to you on time. And thus I've got to use stateside printing so that it's not, blah, blah, blah months after your other one.
Right. So it's not like stuck on a boat somewhere for like half a year.
Right. And like our turnaround for the one shot last year was like pretty good, but it was because it was 32 pages, I had, it wasn't going to take forever, but knowing that this was going to be 132 pages of story and now with the back matter, a lot closer to 150, like that's a different idea of waiting till you're funded before you like turn your artist loose. And so again, like that money of just from last project, pouring it into this one allowed me to turn Annie and Dave loose on the project much, much earlier. And like, I think the page that we were talking about earlier that I approved of Dave's letters today was like page 100 out of like those. So like, I'm really happy to turn around, but part of that was, hey, my softcover printer is going to be the same one as last time. It's literally a couple miles down the street. I'm going to go pick those up and, have a nice relationship with them, and I'll get, front of the line, blah, blah, blah. This, I couldn't imagine risking that several months or the possible delays of doing that, and everybody's books or half of everybody's books are going to be delayed. So the price goes up because I'm doing a stateside, hardcover printer, but I think it'll be worth it because we're hoping for like, I don't know, a first week of November, I think is hopefully when I'm shipping those out to people. Even though the campaign doesn't wrap until September 14th.
I like that you show this because sometimes people go, "Oh, look, they're funded." No. Funded means something totally different, folks.
Yeah, I don't know how much that. It's transparency or whatever, and then you scroll down and you see what the way we're going to do it, and it's like, but part of it was like, I want people to know that, like, yeah, exactly what you guys were talking about earlier. Like, this is not a money-making proposition for most of us. This is passion. This is things that we really believe in. And, truly, I'm going to be well underwater no matter how successful this is, but that's not the point. So, like, our goal at 5,500 was because of money that came before and sacrifices that we're making, not because this project only costs that much to produce.
Because people always think that once they see that funding go, I'm like, no. Sometimes you're just trying to get somewhere, and it's easier to get somewhere if you lower your price.
Yeah, it's like they see $8,000, like, wow, he made $8,000. Like, no, he's probably still, $20K in the hole. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
And are you guys just as frustrated with me that, like, it's not necessarily your comic fans, and it's definitely not your people who get their comics through supporting people on Kickstarter.
Right.
It tends to be more your friends and family from outside that sphere.
Yep.
Do you ever get as frustrated as I do explaining that when they look at you and say right in your face or even over text or whatever, like, oh, well, you're past your goal, so I guess I really I can wait, right? Or I don't need to support you anymore.
Wow.
And you're like, oh, that hurts for personal reasons.
Oh, yeah.
But it also really, really hurts because it's not the reality.
No.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're asking for money again? No, you don't need it. Like, okay, I understand where we stand now.
Yeah, there might even be people in my own house who are like, you're asking for money again. I'm like, no, you're getting a book. You're getting product that I'm pricing at the same price as it's going to be, Yeah. So
They actually give you the money. You're not getting anything back. I'm like, no, you're getting something for the money.
Yeah, you're getting a physical thing here. Like if you give me $20 for a book, like you're getting a $20 book. I'm not just like pocketing the money. Like, yeah, I have $20.
Exactly. Now. I mean, except for that automatic Kickstarter tier at the top, right? Support just because you believe in them. Which
how many people pick that?
Like almost nobody, but always a few people. And I always feel so guilty. I feel so guilty because it's like, no, this is a real thing that I made, and I just want you to have it. And here is the way in the 21st century that we get it to you.
I'm also happy that you're showing right here, like we're talking about. Like here's the $5 because everybody thinks you get all the money. You don't get all the money. They get Kickstarter gets some money out of this.
Oh yeah. There may have been. Oh God, I can't believe. I think this is going to be the first time I admit this publicly. There may have been a little miscalculation on my part from my first campaign last year for the one shot where, I was really concerned. I made sure I had the fees in there. I made sure I showed everything, but I forgot to include shipping in the goal.
Oh no!
Oh no! Like you're all, I know everybody's butt just clenched up. Like I'd see it through the camera. Like I know,
like 1/3 of what you.
I know, and honestly, you go back and look at that campaign, and we ended up getting funded 214% or whatever, which is fantastic. And what saved my butt? I mean, completely saved me, right? But then you look at that. You and I both know the next step of that is. It wasn't 214% funded. It was above, but I forgot to put in the thing, and thus that's not even an accurate number because
wow.
I mean, the learning curve, like I don't know. I mean, my bet is that everybody else in this room has probably been doing this at a higher level than I have because it's like I got to be honest with you. Like I didn't even get started until after I was like over 40, and it was just this dream since I was 12, and it's like I can't tell you the double-edged sword of the joy I felt at every step of this journey over the last 5 years. The first book published by a pretty big independent publisher at that time before a cratering, and the adventures of like going the Kickstarter route these last 2 years. The joy I have felt, it's like a 12 to 15-year-old's joy every time the new thing happens, every time that first time you see yourself in previews or the first time you hold a physical book in your hand or the first time the letterer shows you a finished letter page. Like I got to experience like that joy as a 12-year-old would, but like with the perspective of several decades behind me. But the catch-22 of that is the amount of just stuff I didn't know and don't know, and the learning curve is so high. And I get this and I feel it, but like when I was dealing with SourcePoint, the amount of guilt I would feel every time I had to ask a question that in any other circumstance on the planet, a comic creator who's in his 40s should have known the answer for decades, and I'm asking it almost as if I'm 15 because that learning curve was so steep. I'm just doing most of this stuff for the very first time. And I guess I'm just really, really thankful that I've got so many, wonderful people to support me in that and give me advice so I don't screw up too bad. If there's anything you see wrong in anything that I've done in these last 2 campaigns, it is on me. If there's something that you really, really like, it's probably the advice of somebody much smarter and more experienced than me bailing me out.
Oh, but I think you should be kinder to yourself. Like, first of all, there's definitely imposter syndrome going on, which is like, we all have that. It never goes away. Yeah. But also, like, everyone's journey takes them to different places at different times. So, like, just because you weren't this, like, child prodigy at, like, 18 cranking out comics or whatever, like, you're still here. You started in your 40s, whatever. Like, you're still here. And that's amazing. Like, to even, like, keep pursuing the dream after so long.
I appreciate that. That's very nice of you to say. I need you to know that I actually have 2 master's degrees. One of them is in teaching curriculum. The other one is in self-deprecation. I am very good at it. And it's actually a wonderful defense mechanism when you're teaching 8th graders, because if you don't criticize yourself first, they will eat you alive and do it for you.
Understandable.
Yeah. No, that's really, really nice. And
like if I own this, you can't use it to hurt me anymore.
That's right. You better believe it. It really works.
I understand.
Yeah, Ryan and I have ran together 11 campaigns, and it doesn't get easier. Things change constantly.
Yeah.
So it's not, even we've been working now together and doing comics for 10 years. And it, now, Kickstarter changes their format, or they add late pledges that we have to learn about, or, there's all sorts of new things that are coming. So, it's constantly learning. You're constantly learning something new. So it's, and please, if, I'm 53 now, so I started when I was 43, but that doesn't matter. What's the most important thing is that you're doing it. Most people don't complete the thing.
Truth.
Exactly.
So. And Jason, I have to tell you, like, I'm just like John. I started late. I started in my 40s. So, and my book's still not published. So,
Yeah, I mean, that's right. I mean, we're all human beings. We all know the old cliche of the grass is always greener. And I don't think that will ever change, right? No. Imposter syndrome, like you said, is never going to go away.
It gets louder, actually, with more campaigns. I think I'm on, like, my 13th campaign, and the voice is like, oh, well, you know what? You got lucky the last 12 times. What's going to happen now?
You out.
Can I tell you the spot where it was deafening, where I couldn't even barely fake it till I made it. I was at a couple years ago. I got to Baltimore for the convention and for the Ringo ceremony, and they found out, I was nominated for Best Writer and Best Single Issue Story for Parallel, and that's literally my very first book. My very first book published, my very first comic that I wrote. And
that was amazing.
That
How
was
many
enough
people
to
can
send
do
me into
that?
that kind of imposter syndrome. Right. But when you've got, because being on that stage and presenting some awards and giving a speech, no fear, because I face down 180 teenagers every day trying to convince them that grammar isn't boring, and that is a tougher job. But I will tell you something, at the after party, standing at the bar next to, like, Garth Ennis, and he's telling me stories about, like, war stories about researching war comics. I couldn't, you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't do the thing. Like, Tom King comes over and is like, hey, let's take a selfie. I really liked your speech. And I couldn't do the thing where I decided it was okay for me to be there. And that was, as much fun as I had that night, it was like a really tough night, because it actually was almost a blow to my confidence, because it was so overwhelming to be, like, in a room with, like, people who were my heroes when I was a kid. And then, like, trying to think that, why would I fit there? And, like, it was very hard.
Like 0 to 1,000.
It was hard to, like, because you know what? Everybody put their pants on that day, right? Like, everybody was human in that room, and the fanboy in me made it very, very difficult to in that specific room to like realize that. And I mean we all struggle with some level of that, and yet there's always people who then look at us at whatever level we're at and see the exact same problem I had standing next to somebody whose comics I read and have for years. There are other people who have that exact same situation with us, and we don't necessarily see it that way, but they do. And that's really, really interesting to have that happen and only be able to see it in one direction, you know?
Definitely. We know exactly what you're talking about. Let's show off your video here.
Okay. Did you see the self-deprecation at the end there? Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Couldn't help it.
That's your brand.
Oh my God, it was a great video. I was waiting for something to be like to go. Oh, that was an interesting video. Just that was great. You put something good together there.
Thank you.
And you actually did a great job at making it feel like the 40s. So
yeah, music is key.
It absolutely is.
Oh man, I gotta say this book looks beautiful. I'm happy that you are at 8,000.
Thank you.
Because it's better to be there than to be still trying to make it fun.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's always a bad thing. And it's funny, both of you guys are here right now, and I like the fact that you are. And I can tell people, look at them. They're a little more relaxed. They're going to still try to keep hustling, but they're a little more relaxed. They can actually sit, relax, and go, let's make some more money, folks, instead of going, we got to fund.
Oh, God. Too many times.
Oh, so
I'm having flashbacks. But yeah, I mean, also the cool thing is, like, you know, when they're funded and you get more funding, like, you get a better book, you get more rewards.
Oh, yeah.
It's not it's always worth it to just keep it going.
Yes, I agree. I think that's right. I mean, that's, you know what, that's another testament to what you guys were talking about earlier. Like, this is, for a lot of us, this is not about the profit margins. It's like, oh, you gave me more money, so let me make the book better, not let me sit back and, you know, go on vacation.
Start counting Benjamins.
Like, right. Like, the idea that little new chunk came in, the first thought that goes to my head is, oh, that means I can now give them this too. And that excites me more than something else. So that's, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I feel like the people who get into comics and Kickstarter thinking they're going to make a huge profit are just kind of delusional. Like, you know, they're thinking like, all right, well, you know, I'm going to make lots of money on Kickstarter and then I'm going to have a Netflix series. It's like, bro, baby steps. Like, take it one at a time. Like, first of all, see if you're even going to make any money, because like, that doesn't happen. Like, you'll get the book funded, you'll ship it out. Maybe you'll have something left over to invest in, like, the next book. But like, very few of us out here are like making bank.
Right.
Oh, I feel like people don't understand something, that when these books are being planned, you got a bigger plan. You're like, no, let's scale it down a little bit, you know. But there's a bigger plan, and if you can make that bigger plan happen because the money's coming in, you're going to do it. And everybody thinks, oh no, they'll just pocket this stuff. No.
Or I love it when someone asks me something like, oh, like, why don't you do gold foil covers and stuff? I'm like, you know, if I got enough backers, I could do it. But like, if I'm just shipping out, let's say, like 100 books or whatever, I can't invest the kind of money, because the book is going to cost more than you paid at that point. Like, I'm going to lose like so much money. And it's like, you know, help me get to the point where I get enough backers to make this happen. And like, yeah, we'll talk. I would love to do gold foil covers. Oh my God. My goodness. My art was meant to be gold foiled.
Yes. I like it. That's cool.
That's the way to think it, folks.
Ask Ralph. Ralph knows I put like metallic paint and like glitter and gold ink on like everything.
Matta, is it close by? I love when you show it off.
Gold foil your variant.
Oh, what were you saying, Ralph?
I was gonna say, if you have it close by, I want you to show it off, because I love when you show it off.
Oh God, yeah. I still have it here. Like, it's been unsold. I don't know. I gotta like have John teach me a thing or two about selling some original art. But like, can you not see this in gold foil?
Oh, wow.
Like, this is like, you know, hand painted with like watercolors and markers, acrylic paint, and there's like some even like little flexi glitter to kind of just make things stand out a little more.
That is awesome.
That is amazing.
Somebody buy this off of me, please. I'm gonna lose it, or it's gonna get damaged. I'm so bad at storing my own art. Like, it's a miracle I even still had it handy. So yeah, you know, if I get enough backers, gold foil covers could happen.
Oh man. Well, you know, Matt, now that you show that off, why don't you talk about your next little adventure? Oh
my goodness, or misadventure.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I've decided September 16th is when I'm going to launch The Misadventures of Buddy and Friend. Number 3, you can also get issues 1 and 2 of this campaign. It's a lot of the same sort of chaos energy fantasy vibes as Wurst and Mayhem. Like we all vibe here. It's basically 3 very inept adventurers trying to save the world from a demon invasion and probably doing more harm than good as they go along. Most of the time, not intentionally. It's just that they're so careless and terrible that their body count may be higher than the demons at this point. But, you know, we don't judge. Or we do, and we laugh.
And if you play D&D, you all know this adventure. This is that adventure where everybody's rolling a 1.
Yeah, pretty much. It just feels like everyone just has the worst luck ever. It's definitely a story that revolves heavily around the consequences of one's actions. So, yeah, it's like, you know, actually similar to Wurst and Mayhem. Like in the first issue, they get into like a tavern brawl, they destroy the tavern, like people are pissed off. Like, you know, you're not a hero, you're a vandal at that point. Like, what do you do after that?
Right.
And also there's kind of that nod to like there being consequences for being like, you know, the cool jerk. Which, you know, like the characters, I guess, in like, you know, the 2000s and whatever, where they're like, oh, we're so cool, we're gonna be mean to everybody. Like, you don't get away with that here. Nobody gets away with that here. And it's fun as the issues go on to see like the giant snowball of consequences just getting bigger and bigger as it rolls down the hill until it finally explodes. Because it's like things from issue 1 will still like carry over to other issues. So it's not like there's like episodes or whatever where it's like this happened, we're gonna forget about it. No, things just keep going. And the more people they piss off, the worse it's gonna get. So look forward to that. I also look forward to the introduction of this wizard character. I mean, he has the hat. He says he's a wizard. We gotta believe him, right?
And of course, we all know that Matta does everything herself. She does the art, she does the lettering, she does.
I do the art. Yeah, the writing, the art, lettering, marketing, shipping, not sleeping, the cat feeding, all of that.
Can I please say that as an official English teacher, your beautifully worded phrasing of a cute yet oddly violent fantasy tale, the juxtaposition is juicy and delicious, and I wish my kids would write like that.
I'm kind of a bit of a grammar nerd when the mood suits me, so I try.
I found that delicious and delightful.
Yay!
See, another reason, go get this book. And folks, I want to say this again. When you see a book that's on the Notify, it's the best time to help a book out because it's free. You go, you sign up to get notified. It's free to do that. And the more people they have following their project, the better place in the algorithm they'll be when the project starts. You know, so you actually are helping them out considerably.
And it's free to hit notify me on launch. You're not committing to anything. It doesn't automatically charge you $100 for, you know, a 30-page book. So you don't have to worry about that. It's just, yeah, it's a good free way to help out a creator. Also, like, the first 48 hours of a Kickstarter campaign are always super important. So, like, the more people we can get who are actually backing early, the better it is for the campaign. Yeah. Because then Kickstarter's like, oh, hey, people are interested in this. Like, you know, let's keep promoting it.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it helps the book become better. It helps the creator, like, give back to the audience more because that's all we do. We're not pocketing anything. Like, you know, you'll get cool bookmarks or more stickers or pins or something. Like, I have lots of ideas, guys. Just saying. I'm gonna have to wait till we hit the goals to find out what it is.
There you go.
We'll get there.
Oh man. So John, Ryan, tell them again a little bit about your thing and tell them where they can find you.
Ryan, you haven't done any talking tonight.
Yeah, come on, Ryan.
Come on, Ryan. Dave Lentz says wonderful things about you and your facial hair. Let's go.
And now I'm gonna ruin his prop.
Oh no.
Yeah, so 2 broke mercenaries must outwit wizards and thieves to break the curse of a mythical creature. It's 2 friends writing a book together, having a blast. You know, for people who are fans of Dungeons and Dragons, I don't know, just anything that you like laughing, man. If you don't like laughing, I don't know, man. You're not our people.
It's a medical condition, okay? And I told you not to talk about it on air.
Yeah, it makes fun of pop culture. It makes fun of the Middle Ages. You know, it pokes fun at not safe for work covers because you have to have that too. You know, we have no holds bar. We don't say no to anything in our books. You know, it's just a lot of fun. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, man.
Well, you can find it at worst-mayhem.com is the easiest thing. Yeah,
well, I'm going to make
you right to the Kickstarter
for you folks. I'm going to put this in the comments section, so you can't go, Ralph, I don't want to go look for it. It's going to be right in the comments section, so you got no excuse.
I forgot what the URL is.
Exactly.
Like, no, just click on it. It's right there.
There, in the comments section. Go check it out.
There you go.
And where can they find you guys on the other socials?
You can find most of our stuff by just going to commonwealthcomics.com, and all of our stuff is there.
There you have
it.
Folks.
Really easy.
Yeah, it makes it really easy. We have our comic imprint is called Commonwealth Comics. Obviously, we're from Pennsylvania, and everything is right there. You can see Ryan's art. You can see my stuff. You can see podcasts that we've been on, news, upcoming things, the campaigns, all that stuff.
I gotta say, I like your little cartoony profile pictures.
Those are from Nick Torres.
Yep,
he's great. And when we actually did the, I gifted John one for Christmas one year.
Yep,
and Dave already had one because he, does so many books. And so when we were doing the Kickstarter page, John and I were both in agreement. We're like, James needs an avatar from Nick. So we basically commissioned our editor a Nick Torres avatar. We didn't tell him. We were just like, one day we just sent him an email. We're like, by the way, here you go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's super sweet.
Pretty cool. And I like the uniform look, because when you look at your page and all you have one, I was like, oh, this is cute.
Yeah, because sometimes when you see the team, you'll see like a photo of someone, and then maybe it's like an illustration, and then it's just like a picture of someone's cat instead of like the actual person. And you're like, okay, I guess the cat worked on this book, sure.
Yeah, we wanted our photos, but we wanted them to be, the cartoon avatars of us, and we wanted them all to be the same thing. We wanted them all to match. So
it's cohesive.
It's that inner design person in me that wants everything to be uniform.
It's very effective.
I love the OCD.
Yeah, the OCD. That's it. It's actually an illness. I thought it was a
it's a medical condition.
I gotta say, it is pleasing. It is the fact that you guys are all uniform. You all have the cartoony. It's very pleasing to the eye.
It's a brand, yeah.
Sweet.
Oh man. All right. Here we go. Jane American. Go for it, Jason.
Okay. Well, we're talking about a World War II coming of age story where the war changed everything for Jane, and now she's left with a choice: stay safe, stay hidden, or embrace who she really is to save everybody that she loves. Deeply personal project to me. Really appreciative of everybody who's backed it so far, and let's keep it going. Exciting story that I want to get in people's hands, and you can click on the link right there in the chat. You can go search it up on Kickstarter. I am not quite as proficient as the gentleman before me on being found and finding my stuff, because I'm relatively new at this. And as a public school teacher, oh my goodness, I had a zero social media footprint until SourcePoint made me contractually do some social media to do, because hey, indie comics, right? Doesn't matter who you're with. You got to self-promote the heck out of yourself.
Exactly.
So, yep. You can also find me on Instagram at JDouglasWrites. You can't miss me. The avatar is really simple. It's like me pulling a superhero pose in a hospital gown, holding an IV right after colon cancer surgery from a year and a half ago, trying to look tougher than I really am. And I've even got a link tree because Dave Lentz made me get a link tree. He is slowly pulling me into the 21st century. It is a painful process, but so far fairly successful on his part.
Wow. Oh man. All right, guys. Make sure to go down to Wayward Raven. They got the Napoleon Starship Kickstarter. If you like history, and this is your book right here, right up the alley. Our person writing this is actually an archaeologist and working in Egypt right now. And
Amazing.
So this book is fantastic. I was just with the guys at Terrificon this weekend, and we had a blast. And if you want, go check out their video on Instagram. Of course, Wayward's just crazy.
I love that indie comics just brings together people from like various professions, where it's not just like, oh, well, I was born to be a writer, I was born to be an artist. Like, you'll get someone who's like, I'm an archaeologist, like I'm a doctor and I do comics in my spare time, whatever that is. Or like, you get like teachers, you get people who are just like whatever, you like, anything goes, and I love it.
As you can see, they funded today, actually. So they're relaxing a little bit, but they only got 61 hours to go. Come on.
Yeah, and like the last 3 days, you gotta love that clutch funding right there when it's down to the hours.
Go help them out. Get them to 5,000 at least.
Yeah.
This is a great book, and if you like history, it's right up your alley. Let's see.
It's a funny concept.
Oh, it is. It is. It's Napoleon if he would have continued into space to rule everything. And if you guys love D&D and all the beautiful role-playing stuff, Omnivore Games has this beautiful way to get your kids involved into role-playing. And Omnivore has a thing where a lot of their stuff has a lot of good, because role-play is a good way to get yourself to deal with certain things that you're dealing with.
It's a good way to learn to communicate in general. I think you learn clear communication, you learn like problem solving skills, you learn conflict resolution skills, because there's always a lot of conflict in tabletop games. I always look at it, I'm like, yeah, I'll get it for the kids. There are no kids.
Exactly.
It's me. I'm the kids.
I always say I'll get it for the kids, meaning my daughter, and I'm like, she ain't gonna play with this.
No, but you know what? We will.
Oh, I definitely will.
And it's so cute. Like, you had me at adorable artwork.
Oh my god! And Omnivore, they do great jobs with their role-playing games. It's a little different. It's not your normal D&D type games. These things are a little bit different, and that's the good thing about them.
Also, I like that they advertise friendly shipping. Yeah, am I seeing that? Yeah.
Friendly shipping.
No, because you know how many times there's been like unfriendly shipping where you order a game and the game is like $40 and then suddenly it's like $30 to ship to you, and you're like,
my god, yeah.
You're like, you know what? Just keep my $40. I don't need this that badly. Like, it's extortion. So it's nice that they actually have friendly shipping there, because especially with games, like I always run into this problem with games, where it's like the game is $20 and it's like $20 shipping, like, and it's charged after you've already pledged and the thing is over, and it's like through like Pledge Box or Backer Kit or whatever, and you're just like, you're holding my game hostage now, aren't you?
Yeah, I hate that.
I will not back anything unless I see a shipping price up front now, because like I've been burned too many times. I've been burned on like floppies too. It's ridiculous. Like you'll get like a $10 floppy and then suddenly it's like $10 shipping, and you're like, what are you doing? What are you guys doing?
Exactly.
Yeah. And a lot of those. What?
I think we got an echo.
Oh.
Okay, it's gone.
That was weird.
Go ahead, John. You were saying?
Well, Ryan was saying something too. What would you say, Ryan?
I said they always get you when you don't have any money.
Oh, that's true.
Always. Well, I never have any money, so they always just get me.
And they're not
perfect for you.
They're not up front. If they're not up front in the campaign page that says they'll be collecting shipping after the campaign.
They don't tell you how much shipping either.
It's I mean, at least it gives you the option to know what's going to come after. You should have that as a thing. I mean, maybe that's by design. They know that they'll piss people off if they say that. I'm not sure, but I hate shipping. I get even more
pissed off. Yeah, I get even more pissed off with surprise shipping costs than like transparency.
Surprise!
Yeah.
So I don't think we solved imposter syndrome here tonight, but I got to tell you, you guys, this has like done my soul so good, because like there are things that you guys like, I'm bowing down to your to your 11 and 13 campaigons like before me. Like, this is really,
we're just masochists, Jason. That's all.
Yeah, we hate ourselves.
We don't love ourselves. That's really
what felt really good. What felt really good is like there's like a half a dozen things that you guys have mentioned that I'm in line with, philosophically, and then like I made sure was part of my campaign too. But it kind of some of those things I just did on instinct, like I was like, that's the right way to do it. And to have that confirmed that you guys are like exactly there, like just here's what the shipping is going to be, right? Like up front, like here's the transparency.
So easy
how much
to see.
this thing, like I did that on instinct, but the fact that you guys are confirming that that's probably the better or ethical or even preferred way to do it, and people like that has meant a lot to me tonight. And I thank you guys for that. That's awesome.
Glad to be of service.
Yeah.
That's why we like talking on the show, because sometimes people learn things.
Yeah, I mean, also just keeping it real, because I feel like there are a lot of times where people try to just not have anything to say at all because they're afraid of saying something negative and getting backlash. But no, we spill the tea here.
Yeah, we say stuff we shouldn't say all the time.
We don't call people out, but I mean, tea is still spilled.
Oh my God, Mr. Ned, are we forgetting anything?
Yeah, just a few. Dime Store Detective currently is live on Kickstarter.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For once, Pat Shand doesn't have a Kickstarter because Pat Shand is going to be at a convention this weekend.
I was going to ask, has hell finally frozen over? But no, it's just he's going to be at a con.
No, he is at conventions for the next 5 weeks.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Oof. I do not envy that.
Yeah.
I got tired just hearing about that. Like, it's time for a nap. Just hearing about it now.
Here Comes Calico also has a Kickstarter going on, utilizing their first 4 issues.
Yeah, I think they're putting it into I know. I think the first.
Oh, it's live already. That's the thing. I just can't remember.
I think they're putting all. I think it's 8 issues. For the whole series, putting the whole series into one big book.
And then aside from that, Kat Calamia has a book going on, I believe.
She's another one that always has a book going.
Yep.
And that should be it. Sorry, I've been preoccupied with the Anime NYC list, but I made sure to go through a check of all the Kickstarters that were active this week. So,
and just so I can show you guys, because I love Dime Store Detective. There it is, the beautiful little thing. It is at $12.91. I think he needs to get to 2,500. That's not that bad, folks. We can get him there. It just started. He's at 27 days to go. Come on, let's get this done early so he can relax.
Also, what a great name for a series.
Dime Store Detective. I love it. It feels all like that classic dime store books that my father used to read. Let's see. Matta Sorcier, you are awesome.
I had no idea she was in the audience. Shout out to you. I love you, Yvette. It's been a hot minute since I've seen her because I haven't done cons in a while, but I'll see her again.
I think that is everything. You guys have anything else to say before we go?
Chicken wings.
Yeah, chicken wings is good.
For Anime NYC, if you enjoy pins, we have 4 artists currently involved in the pin rally.
Ooh.
So be sure to check them out. We'll give you more details as the time goes on.
I forget the Anime NYC does that pin rally thing. Last time I ended up with too many pins because they were doing the pin rally.
That always happens to me at
now
cons.
we actually have friends who are doing it. So.
Oh, what are you telling me that for? I already told you. I did too much money the last time.
Too bad. No money for New York Comic Con this year. You spending it all at Anime NYC.
There's never money for New York Comic Con.
Exactly. This time we're spending it all here.
Folks, as you can tell, this weekend we will be at Anime NYC. We always have a lot of fun there. As you can tell from the beginning, our beginning trailer, our beginning, whatever you want to call that thing.
The intro thingy.
There you go, the intro thingy. And we're going to be having a blast.
We can't just call it the op.
The op, the oop, the eep. I don't care what it's called. You can see the fun in it. And this weekend we'll be there. And Wednesday we have a special Anime NYC show with a couple of people who will be at Anime NYC. And some people that won't.
Oh, no.
We still got to do Kickstarter. There you have it, folks. With that, I guess I will play our outro instead of replaying the beautiful beginning, which I would want. You know what? I'm going to replay it anyway.
You know what? Let's treat ourselves.
There you go.
Hey, why?
So, ladies and gentlemen, fanboys and girls, nerds, weebs, and otaku, welcome back and welcome home.
Hey, you people that just showed up, go watch